And hi, and thank you for being here. We're going to do a pick a card that's going to answer the question for you. What is your next big change? And we're kind of getting close to the end of the year. So this, what's going to kind of happen, what's going to happen next year, but what is your next big change? And I have the Almond Tarot, and it's a chunky monkey, and it's singular cards from I don't know how many decks, but from this, see all the different backs? Isn't that cool? From this, we're going to get 3 cards that will be our 3 so we're going to go 1, 2, 3. I know this deck, so this is going to be fun. Here's our 3. So, and upside down. So we have, I'm so sorry, random, weird ass magical shit. That could be your next big change. Weird ass magical shit. We have the 5 of Mirrors, and we have the 2 of Pentacles. 3 very, very, very different cards. Am I right? Oh my goodness. So, if you can pick from these 3 cards, I ask you to go there now. Well, how about I just take these away and stop playing with them? I ask you to go there now and see your reading. There might be a message for you in 1, 2, or 3 of those readings. I ask you to use your intuition for that. So next thing we're going to do is I'm going to add crystals and the zodiac. I know personally I like to, if nothing's talking to me, I like to use my zodiac, sun, moon, rising. And you can do that too if you want, if you're really looking at 2 piles, see where your zodiac is in there, and I'll get those ready. We have the cards, and these are the crystals for them. So this one is a lazurite with pyrite inclusions. This one is an African amethyst, and this one, don't move. This one is an ocean jade. So if that helps, or we can go right to the zodiac, and we have, stop moving, Leo, Aries, Pisces, and Capricorn. We have Gemini, Scorpio, Taurus, and Aquarius. We have Libra, Cancer, Sagittarius, and Virgo. So if that helps you pick a pile, more than one pile, if you're doing different places in your zodiac, I hope you can pick a pile from this, and I'll see you in your reading. Hi, Pile 1. Thank you for being here. We're doing the card spread of your next big change. And you picked weird-ass mystical shit. You are my kind of people. Just saying. You might have picked it for the lazurite, which has pyrite inclusions. And you might have picked it for your zodiac, sun, moon, rising, any of your personal planets, whatever you feel like today, anything you want. Oh, and look at that. I haven't even done that. Probably should have did that first. I'm going to light a candle. So I'm going to lay out the 5 cards that will, oh, that's a loser thing. Yay, there. Should have did that before, but you get it. You get it, Pile 1. So these are, this is the spread, and I'm using the spread deck. And here we go. All right. So we're going to do it like that. We're looking at what's shifting beneath the surface, and that's the massive change. That's the next big, that's something that's going to propel you into this change that's going to be the big change that's coming. The second one is what you will leave behind. That's what you're shedding. That's what you need to release. This one is what you must face. This is the doorway. This is the moment of choice. Then we have growth. Growth is what you're growing into, what you're becoming. And then we have your new reality, which is the gift on the other side. So we're going to use this deck, and we're going to see what pile 1 has for us. And we'll see massive change. So this card reveals the uneasy energy already stirring for change. You kind of feel that something's coming. And it shows what is initiating transformation. Even if you don't recognize it yet, you kind of feel something's going on. So what vibration, realization, or event is setting this new path in motion? We have the 7 of Cups. That's telling me that you're getting a lot of opportunities right now. You're not necessarily acting on them, but all these things are coming at you right now. Maybe you're getting more than your fair share of dates, offers for dates. If this is something that's changing, maybe someone's coming into your life. Maybe you're getting some offers of, going out for a meal or going to a movie or whatever you kids do. Maybe you're getting all those offers. Here, I'm going to hold her while I'm talking. Maybe. I say that because, she's dressed up and, she's thinking over a glass of wine. So maybe that opportunity, maybe another big change is maybe you're with someone and maybe they're going to, move your relationship forward. Maybe that's what she's thinking about. Maybe she's only sitting here thinking, so maybe she's thinking about moving. Maybe she's thinking about moving not only from, a different home, but maybe to a different city or country. Maybe it's a much bigger move. We have all these different choices. You're having an opportunity to do something, and you've got all these choices. So any of those could be a massive change. Is it relationship? Is it environment? Is it your job? Maybe you're getting job offers. Interesting. So what do you have to leave behind to make this happen? Something that you have to leave behind so that you can move forward. And that can be old habits, that can be people, and that can be fears. What do you need to leave behind so that you can move forward? This is something you need to let go of. Okay. We have the Moon. And Moon is saying maybe you need to let go of some of the uncertainty. Here, I'm going to get that in. Sorry, something was ding-a-dinging, and that just drives me insane. So, the Moon, maybe you have to get rid of some expectations. Maybe you had some dreams and they're not working out the way you thought they would, but you're still holding on to them. Maybe you need to let that go and let it flow. Because if you're holding on to something really, really tight, it's really hard to let anything else come to you because you're stuck, right? You're you're making a dam for energy flow, and you need to let that go and let the energy come in. So maybe you need to let go of it, things that, kept you stagnant, kept you still. You might not see it yet. You might not see that these things are in your way. And maybe they're imaginary. Maybe they're not actually there, but you think they are. Oh, I can't move because of, you know, all my friends are here. And so you make these your own roadblocks. You make your own story. And that's not true. Maybe if you move somewhere, now you got a destination place and everybody wants to come see you. There are other avenues. If it's travel, if this choice is travel, if this new big change is, you know, something like that. Maybe, oh, let's see, relationships. Maybe you think I can't have a relationship now because, you know, I'm really invested in my career. And that's another roadblock that you have put in your way, not to let it, not let energy flow. You need to let go of the old stories and maybe just say, what if instead, right? Instead of saying, I can't, say, what if? What if I did move? What if I did go steady with that boyfriend or girlfriend? What if I did change my job? More what ifs are what needed instead of I can'ts. You need to leave the I can'ts behind. So what I must face. This is the choice. This is the point, the decision, the crossroads where you consciously step into change. So what action or attitude opens the door to this transformation? What are you going to do? There you go. Oh, what you must face, and that's the Five of Pentacles. Now, the Five of Pentacles can be a hard card because it's the feeling of not having enough and the feeling of being left out. A feeling of kind of being alone, but you always are. They always, not always, I've seen decks without it, but it was meaningful. This one has two people. I mean, so they're not really alone. So what you must face, and that looks like you must face, possibly what you need to face is asking for help. Because what this card is like you have two people. They're in desperate need. They're walking by a place. On here, it's usually a church, and that's a stained glass window. But they don't look at that, and they don't recognize that as help. And the light is on, and it's, you know, storming outside. It's cold, and they really need shelter, and they really need help. But they are not recognizing where help is. So what you must face is maybe you need to ask for help. Maybe you need to ask for that sage advice from your bestest bestie. Maybe you need some therapy. Maybe some things have happened to you in the past that has put roadblocks in your way, and they don't need to be there. And maybe you need to figure those things out. So what you must face is possibly getting help, going beyond to get help from maybe your ways of thinking, your beliefs are maybe not real. Your beliefs and your blocks and your limitations, maybe they're not real. And so maybe you need, and I say maybe a lot because this is collective, so it's not going to resonate with everybody, but some people will see that and go, you know what? I do need help. I do need to talk to somebody. It could be a friend. It could be a therapist. It could be whoever you trust to hold you tenderly and actually listen, be present with you and say, look, I've got a choice to make. I can leave this job and go to this job. What do you think would be the best opportunity for me? Maybe talk to a lot of people. It doesn't have to be professional. It could be an opinion of a lot of people, and you're going to hear those opinions and make your own choices. And maybe they're going to tell you some things that you're not recognizing. It's like, oh my gosh, definitely leave that job. You're much better than, whatever you're doing. That other job, you're going to be so happy there. We know you're not happy in your current job. If this is about a job, or, it could be so many things, but the crux of it, I hope I'm saying that right, is that asking for help. That's something you must face. Something that is best for you. Hopefully hopefully that's signaling there for you. So the becoming, the growth. Here lies the version of yourself that's emerging. Who are you becoming as you embrace this shift? So say you're recognizing that you have choices. Oh. Sorry, if I'm doing this, people are coming in and out of the house. Growth. Okay, let's see if I remember where I was. Who are you becoming as you embrace this shift? What are you growing into? There we go. Wow. Hello. Look at this. You are growing into the Queen of Cups. Wow. Like, yes, Queen. Somebody had to say it. All right. That's the motherly queen. That's the nurturing queen. She's affectionate. She's empathetic. She's warm-hearted. It's a beautiful energy. It's a beautiful, calm, nurturing, giving energy. So maybe if you're in a job that is really sucking the life out of you, and you can't, when you get home, you're drained and you can give nothing to anybody. You just want to recharge. Maybe switching jobs, you're going to get that feeling back. When you get home, you can share, the meals, and you can share the stories with your people, and you can maybe go out and have some fun with your friends. If this is a job decision, if this is the big next change, maybe it is in something to do with a relationship. And maybe when you make the right decision for you, it's going to feel like coming home. It's going to feel like you can breathe when you finally make that decision. If it's moving, maybe you're going to a place that is so much more nurturing and nourishing for you. Maybe you're living in a city and really you want to live in the country. You want to live where it's rural, and you're going to have a garden, and you're going to have all these things that put you back into the earth and put you back into nature. Maybe that's what you want. Maybe that's going to fill your cup. But making this change is pushing you towards, what you authentically want to be and how you want to see yourself. So your new reality. And this is what's on the horizon, the gift on the other side. So the outcome or blessing that is awaiting once you move through this whole process, this whole big change. What does it feel like once this change is fully integrated? Once you get here, what's that going to feel like? What that's going to be? What's that going to be for you? We got 2 because, of course. So what this is saying, you're like, oh no, what's the new reality? Well, we're going to start with her. And this person is trapped by her own beliefs. And I think we already discussed that right here, right? Trapped, but you're going to see the things that are trapping you. You're going to know that you are the one that kept yourself small. You are the one that was getting in your own way by saying, I can't. So you're going to see that that's who you were. You're going to see that the blessing here is that you're going to see where your life is so much bigger. That whatever was around you or even might have been telling you couldn't do it, you can. Or maybe you were telling yourself you couldn't, and you can. So you're going to recognize the blocks that were put in your way. And that's amazing. That alone, that's amazing. If you can see what's blocking you, if you know that after you go through this and you look back and you say, I did that, or I believed that, you know what I mean? To see where you came from is a blessing. And then we got the reversed Queen of Pentacles. And it's like, wait, what does that mean? It's a reverse. Well, reverses are bad all the time. So the Queen, usually, when you talk about the Queen of Coins, Pentacles, she's got a willingness to help, and she's a prosperous businesswoman. So what I think that when you get to the place where you feel nurturing and whole, and you're motherly or fatherly, or you're affectionate and warm-hearted, that maybe what you used to be was very thing-oriented, meaning I wanted more possessions. I wanted more money. I wanted more things in my life that didn't bring it substance, that nourished me, right? The new you is going to see the blocks, and the new you is going to have a deeper emotional connection to your being and people around you. You're going to see all this stuff. You're going to see that you don't need to limit yourself. You're going to see that you don't have to have all the biggest, brightest, newest things, that you can be happy and joyful and content in your own life, doing simpler things, doing meaningful things, doing things that people see the time and effort that you've put into them, and they appreciate it, instead of just going out and buying it. You see what I mean? Like, that's not always the best gift. Sometimes the gift is your time. Sometimes the gift is your company. Sometimes the gift is things that you make, or things that you share with other people. So we're going to look at a few of these. Your new reality is beautiful, by the way. Honestly. We're going to look at a few shadow clarifiers. So, the fear of letting go. Tell me a fear. Oh, you got one. Thank you. Thought it was a vibe. Red flags, fantasy, false hope. Yeah. Okay, so that kind of makes sense. If you're standing in your way and you're putting roadblocks in your way, maybe you're ignoring red flags. That can be person, place, thing, right? Maybe you knew it wasn't good for you, but you had this false hope that it will get better. You had this false hope that, this isn't my choice. This is just happening to me, right? You're kind of living in that fantasy, possibly. And that will get in the way of the next big change, because you're limiting yourself. And this is it is saying, yeah, we're on the right track there. You're limiting yourself. You're telling yourself stories that is stopping your growth. So we're right on track with them. Good clarifier. Now we got explore. The world is a book whose pages are paths. So this is telling you, this goes back to here, but it's also coming, right here. And it's saying, yeah, there are so many opportunities. Once you get rid of these roadblocks, it's probably going to be a time for you to explore what's going on out there. Explore your possibilities and opportunities. There are so many things that are available to you when you stop stopping yourself. Do you like that? Stop stopping? When you let yourself dream in a healthy way, the things you want to do, could do, it's a good idea to just look back and say, what did I always dream about when I was younger? And what stopped me from having that? That's a good question to maybe journal about and maybe ask about, because it's going to be obvious, I think, when you get there. And we're going to look at one more thing. One more clarifier. Are we on the right path? Let us know. Everything you want is on the other side of the unknown. Here we go. Goes right with the explore. This is another thing, opening up those possibilities, opening up your mind to things that maybe you told yourself you couldn't do, but maybe you should. Beautiful. We got 3 clarifiers that are all together saying this is what you need to do. This is where your next big change is coming. This is where you're going to find that beautiful, beautiful person that you've always wanted to be, that you've always dreamed of and told yourself you couldn't have. This is saying let go of this crap and then actually go explore. Explore all those possibilities. Wow. I knew this was a good card. Thank you, Pile 1. Thank you for being here. I hope to see you in your next reading. Love you. Bye. And hi, Pile 2. Thank you for being here. We're going to ask the question, what is your next big move? And you picked Pile 2 for... This is the... Look at that little shiny little compact right there. Cute. Okay. Pile 2. This is your card. So cute. You picked also the African amethyst, and you also picked the zodiac, sun, moon, rising, any personal planets that you wanted to use, or maybe your intuition said this is your first pile, second pile, whatever you needed. I'm glad you're here. So here are the questions that we're going to be asking. I will never get these straight, even there's a line there. So we're going to ask these questions and we'll go along and I'll explain them as we go. Give it a little room there. The first question we're going to ask, because we're talking about your next big move, is the catalyst. What's shifting beneath the surface? So this card will reveal the unseen energy already stirring for change. And maybe you know it's there, maybe you don't, but you feel something either is off or something's getting you excited. You just don't know what's going on. You might not see it. So what vibration, realization, or event is setting this new path in motion? This massive change. What is starting? Okay. We have the Ace of Swords. Fantastic. So the Ace of Swords, it's a beginning. It's the first inkling, the new idea that arrives, the creative leap. It can also be the conflict breakthrough. Maybe you're at a standstill or a pressure point somewhere at work or, you know, with a family member, and it finally just like clarity. And you get some insights. And this is that first spark of maybe even it's a conversation or maybe it's a phone call or a message that comes to you and it starts this ball rolling. Right? So it's something you're going to hear, something being said to you, something that happens in conversation. It could be an email, so many things, but it's going to come to you and you're going to go, oh, and have a little thought about it. It's going to kind of have to ruminate. So get the word. So the second one is what you leave behind. What needs to be released? Because it can't come forward with you. Something you have to let go to allow this energy forward. Don't be a dam in the river. You have to let that go. You have to let that energy come to you. So what do you need to let go of? That could be old habits and people, fears. We're going to find out what it is. So you get this spark of information, an idea, and then you go, oh, but wait a minute, what about this? You have to let it go. So let's find out. Got a couple? Here we do. So Queen of Swords and the Six of Swords. So we're sticking with the sword theme. So this is information and ideas and conversations and all those things. So we're sticking with that. So you get an idea, and what you need to leave behind is possibly that rigidity about information, right? So we'll start here with her, and she thinks she knows the truth, and she thinks she knows, all about the advice that you would give somebody. You are smart, you're passionate, and you're honest, but possibly that's getting in your way because you're very rigid in what you believe and what you know and what you understand. You're very rigid. This is the way it is, and there's no deviating. So maybe you have to let that go. Maybe you have to open up a little bit more to possibility. Maybe you have to open up a little more to whimsy and to fun and to, more about experiences than it is about, hard conversations. Maybe it's this rigidity that is maybe leaving you there. And then we have the Six of Swords, Six Swords. So the Six of Swords usually talks about relocation and moving through like turbulent waters to calm waters. It's a healing process. It's a restoration. So maybe what this is saying is you've been so rigid for so long that maybe you need to leave some rigid thinking behind. Right? Maybe that kept you in conflict. Maybe that kept you on what you considered higher ground. Maybe it was just something, a belief, an idea that kept you stationary. Because she's on her throne and she is broadcasting the facts. And here we have someone who's like moving on, moving through waters. It's probably your ideas have carried you so far, but maybe you need to let them go. Maybe you need to be a little more open-minded. Move beyond your limits with your thoughts. With your thoughts, see? They're in the boat with you, but you're moving beyond them. So maybe this is also like, hey, you get a message and maybe, right away you say, that can't be true. Maybe you need to sit back and think, well, can I move beyond that? Is that true? I need to think about it. Or maybe stop thinking about it. Maybe you need experience. Maybe somebody invited you on a trip and you go, I can't go there. I don't have time. I have more important things to do. And it's like, well, what if? What if you stop saying I can't? Because I'm finding like, leave this behind. A lot of it's I can't, or I don't believe, or I don't think. All these things are stopping you. Right? And you carry, maybe this is another way to look at the Six. You carry your beliefs and your ideas wherever you go. Maybe that's what you need to leave. Maybe you need to leave this sternness behind and actually experience what's going on around you or have a new experience. Because the sword is like, it cuts through the fluff for sure. But sometimes you need to have fun. Sometimes you need to leave some things behind and just go and experience things. I'm wondering, because we're going to get more clarification on that. But she is very matter of fact. And maybe you're missing out on some things. It's definitely not vibing with the new change that's coming. So what you must face, that moment of choice, the decision or the crossroads that you need to consciously step into for that change, the action or attitude that opens the door for transformation. What do you need to do? Is it a change in attitude, which I'm thinking it is, but the cards will tell me? Or is it an action? Maybe you need to go do something that's silly. Maybe you do something that, I could never. Maybe you've told yourself that. I could never do that. Maybe you can. So what you must face. What is the choice? So here's the choice. The Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is going to talk about self-sufficiency, pleasure of self-success, high attainment of wealth and status. So what you must face. You must make a decision for yourself? What is best for you? What is going to get you to where you feel like you're succeeding, like you're at your best self, like your life is the way you've dreamed it to be? How do you become that independent person? You probably thought that being very rigid would take you down that path. And if I follow the plan that is set out for me, eventually one day I'll get there. And this is saying maybe you need to be more of an independent thinker. Maybe you need to think for yourself. Think about you, put you first, which is, people say, oh, that's selfish. No, self-care is not selfish, because when you're at your best, you can be the best for everyone else, right? So maybe this rigid thinking that you've carried around with you for a very long time, maybe you need to leave that behind and think for yourself. Maybe you're doing stuff for everybody because oh my gosh, are you a people pleaser? Right? This is what I must do because I'm a parent. This is what I must do. You sacrifice yourself. And maybe that's your limiting belief, that I need to do everything for everyone. And this is saying, this is what you must face. You have to fill your own cup. You have to do for you first, because you can't do for everyone else if you are depleted yourself. You're not giving your best to everyone if you are not giving the best to yourself first. Is that what's going on here? This is saying you need to be thinking about yourself. Or, it just hit me, the queen, she has ideas, and she has a very rigid, sharp tongue. She can, she's queen. So, she's a matriarch. So maybe she believes that this is the way things should be. And she's telling everybody that. You need to do this. You need to do this. Maybe you're getting your nose in everyone's business. And you need to think about yourself. Don't worry about everyone else. Right? They're going to get along fine. You don't need to micromanage them. Right? Because maybe these swords are controlling. Maybe this is you on your boat. These are your family or your friends, and you're controlling it with your beliefs. You're telling them what they should think and what they should do, and you're controlling on that. And this is saying maybe you need to face that you need to just care about yourself for a little while. That's a little bit harsh. But maybe we've gotten so many swords here, maybe that's what it's saying. And you need to be there for yourself. You need to feel that independence and, that beautiful self-sufficiency and that self-pleasure, self-success. You know what I mean? I think it makes you kinder. If that's what we're talking about. Yeah. So what is the growth here? What are you becoming? What are you growing into? When you stop micromanaging, or you start having stop having these rigid beliefs, what are you going to become when you embrace this shift? Whatever message is coming in here that starts it, what happens if you embrace it? Whatever it says. I don't know what it says. Some message. Some idea. What if you embrace that? What's going to happen? Where are you going to grow? And again with the twos. Ooh. We have the Ace of Pentacles and the Empress. Wow. How nurturing. So the Ace of Pentacles, that's going to talk about, well, that's a new career, and that's a new job, and that's new, it's a raise, income, investment pays off. We're going to go with the investment pays off. So maybe talking about you You're supposed to, revel in your own beautiful self. And maybe that investment pays off because when you give to yourself, here comes the Empress. The Empress is the ultimate creativity, nurturing archetype of the Great Mother. So when you're giving to yourself, instead of like lording over your family and friends, maybe when you give to yourself, you see the gift that you can give others. And that gift can be, that wealth of knowledge. Instead of forcing people to do what you do, maybe they come to you because you are just this kind, generous person. You're not putting yourself out there to push anybody around and make them do what you think they should do. You're there as this beautiful goddess of wisdom, and they come to you for knowledge instead of you chasing them and telling them what they need to do. They come to you because now they see you as this independent, beautiful woman or man. I mean, I'm genderizing because these are women on here. So if it's not that, I am sorry. I'm just visual. So maybe they're coming to you because you are nurturing now instead of demanding you're nurturing. Instead of pushing your beliefs, now people are coming to you and asking for your advice, right? And that is the gift. That is the gift you have. You have that to share. You have that knowledge. Maybe you were like a badass, in the corporate world, right? But you really were like you felt like you had to be possibly more masculine. Possibly, you had to be like this badass. And you just, or maybe you worked too hard and you thought, this is how I make it. I have to do long hours and never be with the family. And when you started giving to yourself, when you started putting up those boundaries and said, no, I can't work past 6 o'clock. Oh no, the weekend, I'm not coming in for work. I'm going to be with my family. And so maybe even putting up boundaries like that, instead of being everything to everyone, you're now being to the things that you value. You're putting your energy into it. And maybe those things are the gifts. And maybe even, if you're going to look at this very practically, it's a coin. It's wealth. It's money. It's that opportunity for enriching yourself. So maybe if you people start seeing you not as like this rigid, person who gives too much and or they're just demanding too much. If you pull that back, maybe more opportunities come to you. Maybe a better job offer comes because now they see you as a team player. Maybe they, all these different things. This is where you're going. You're going to be more centered. You're going to be more that person that people want to be around. You can still be giving, but you're not giving of yourself. You're to the point where you are resentful in your giving. Right? Now you're giving from the heart. Now you're giving, with joy. I think that is huge. So what will your new reality be? If you start here and you go through all this growth and you leave behind things that aren't working for you, what is on the other side? The gift of the other side. What does life feel like once this change is fully integrated? Once you've decided that, I can put myself first, self-care is not selfish. It is actually fulfilling and it's better for everyone else. When you finally decide what is best for you, what fills your cup, what makes you more nurturing, what makes you more gentle, what makes you powerful in the most you way, what is it? What is this gift on the other side? Who will you become? Thank you. 2 more again. Oh my gosh. You are amazing. We got the Queen of Wands. So many. And the High Priestess. Wow. So we're going to talk about her. These are just so positive. So let's see where you're going. What's on the other side of this? When you decide, what's on the other side? Side, side, side. So the Queen of Wands, she is a spirited woman. She is self-assured and optimistic and confident and passionate and powerful and humorous. She is like the funnier empress, the funnier empress. She is just so much more. And she has this personality that people just, like, they get energized being around. They just love her. She is passion. She is spirited and optimistic. And she's very starkly different than this lady. Right here. I'll go like this. This lady, who is very rigid and, very single-minded. Now, the Queen has her absolute moments, but this is what you need to leave behind. So we're going to look at the harsh parts of her. And so once you feel yourself and you feel that you can nurture, then this personality is going to come out that is hilarious. It's like, I'm going to stick to the female. Like, Mom, you're so funny. Mom, your sense of humor, where'd that come from? You know what I mean? You're going to be that person that people they crave to be around you because you have this energy that is magnetic. And then the High Priestess, well, this is something you're going to gain by being fully in your power. You are going to have this intuition and this inner revelation and this knowledge. You're going to see the world differently, and you're going to feel differently about the world too. You're going to have this knowing, because you are now being authentically yourself. You're going to have this knowing. You're going to know what's best for yourself. You're going to know how to nurture yourself. You're going to know intuitively, situations that you won't have to rigidly just it has to be this way. You're going to be able to ask yourself knowingly, is this best for me? And you're going to know the answer. You won't have to go look for information. You won't have to second guess yourself. You're going to be like, this is good for me or this isn't. When you're fully in your power, you know what is best for you. And your personality is going to bloom. But you have to feed that flower, right? You have to feed that energy by taking care of yourself. Right here. That's the choice. So, okay, we got those. Let's look at some clarifiers. Are we on the right path? So tell me, am I right on the fears? Is this what pile 2 needs to hear? Ghosted again. Rejection, silence, confusion. Right? That's wrong, isn't it? Absolutely. See, what happens is when you are relying on other people to fill you up, or you're relying on everyone to follow the rules, you can't ghost me. Why aren't you replying to me as soon as I text? You should be right on. I'm texting you. Answer me back, right? These are rule breakers. These people are seeing you as being very rigid, and it's like, oh, it's draining. So, yes, we're on the right track. Because if you're worried about everyone else and how they're reacting to you and what they're doing, and tell me what you're doing right now, and you're kind of being a little bit of a, nosy Nelly, people don't respond to that, right? And I think when you stop looking for everyone's attention and you put that attention on yourself, and you put that, if they don't want to reply, let them. They don't have to reply. I just sent that out there. My day is not going to be centered around what you think or feel, or if you're even paying attention to me. That's gone. What you're doing now is centering on yourself. Okay, well, if you don't text back, that's okay. I let that go. It's not going to bother me. I'm going to have people around me who want to be around me. I'm not going to beg to be at anybody's table. I'm not going to beg for anybody's attention. So if that's even a relationship where they are ghosting you, where they are ignoring you, where they are not treating you like the empress and the queen that you are, I know you're saying a queen here, but she's very rigid. You don't have to be. You are a beautiful person. And when you choose to nurture your own power, then your true self comes forward. Right? That's beautiful. So you're not going to react to this anymore. You're not going to react to somebody ignoring you because you're going to realize you don't have to beg to be in their life. You are worth more. And if they can't see that, don't text them again. So this is going to be, are we on the right track for where you're headed? Your growth. Are we on the right track for that? Maybe. Fog lifts with the next tide. So maybe we're on the right track. Maybe I'm getting that right. Do you have anything else you could say? You're ghosting me, cards. Okay. Go alone. Sometimes the wisest company is silence. Well, it doesn't that go with, that goes with your ghosting. Thank you, maybe. That goes with ghosting. Sometimes the wisest company is silence. If they don't want to talk to you, don't beg them to talk to you. Right? Just let it go. They'll get back to you when they notice you're missing. Is it days? Is it weeks? It's going to be very telling. It's going to be telling how you acted and how they're acting towards you, right? That's why going alone, maybe that's part of what the Nine of Pentacles is saying. Maybe you need to distance yourself from some people or some situations, right? And this is all going to start, oh, hi, I just threw those out there. All going to start with a message or an idea. Maybe this is your message. Oh, yeah, this is your message. I would love to be your message. But we'll see. Am I on the right track here? That maybe might be that you don't see this. Maybe you're getting this reading. You pick 2. It's like 2. I know it's 2. And you're looking at this as like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe it's saying you're not going to get it right now. Maybe it's saying something's going to happen. That message is going to come. And then you're going to go like the fog will lift and you go, oh, that's me. That's what I'm missing. Right? So if it's not resonating now, maybe it will. Maybe something has to happen for you to see it. Maybe you're so rigid right now. You don't see it. There we go. What are you saying? When a new door opens, walk through it and begin again. Yeah. Maybe that's what's happening right here. Maybe that is what you need, that opportunity, when it comes, that you grab it, right? Don't second guess it. Just grab it. Just walk through and say like this change, I can do it. Don't be rigid and say, I can't, right? Don't be rigid and do that to yourself. If that opportunity is being given to you, this could be an opportunity. Maybe it's not a message, it's an opportunity. If that opportunity comes, if it is a job opportunity and you're like, I know how to do this, that would be too exciting. I'm just saying, if it's something silly like that, it's probably a lot more serious. If this opportunity comes, take it. Honestly, I think that is the whole crux of the whole thing, is that don't say no to opportunity. It looks like it's leading you to the most beautiful you the most beautiful you, the most authentic you, the most you that you could be, which is right here. This is you. This is you in your fullness, in your being able to trust yourself beyond a shadow of a doubt. You know what's good for you and where it's going to lead you. You know your intuition is so strong because you are so centered and you are so feeling yourself. You just know what's good and what is true. And that is the path that I wish for you. Thank you, Pile 2. Thank you for being here. Thank you for picking this pile. And I hope to see you in your next reading. Bye. Love you. And hi, Pile 3. We're going to be asking the question, what is your next big change? And so we have right here the Two of Pentacles from a Marseille deck. We have this Ocean Jade. Ooh. We have Zodiac. You might have picked it with your Zodiac. Sun, Moon, Rising. Well, yeah, I'll keep them like that. Sun, Moon, Rising. Anything that called you to pick that way works for you. If it's just the cards, works for me. So here are the questions that we are going to be asking. What is your next big change? All right. So we're going to start right away. No more chit-chatting. So, number 1, the catalyst. What's shifting beneath the surface? This is the massive change, but it's going to start slow. It reveals the unseen energy already stirring the change. It's what could be starting this transformation, even if you don't recognize it yet. So what vibration, realization, or event is setting this new path in motion? There we go. Well, the Magician. So the Magician is telling me that what is shifting for you is possibly an inspiration, an action. Maybe you're realizing that you have everything you need. Because see, the Magician, am I even in camera? Oh, I'm sorry. The Magician has all 4 suits. You have the cups and wands and swords and pentacles. They're all at her beck and call. They're all there for her that she can create anything with what she has on the table, right? So she's realizing, and I say she because it's girl, this person is realizing that they have everything they need to do whatever they want. So maybe it's this idea that you get. It's like, hey, I can do better. I can do more. I can do, like, maybe you've had limitations not knowing that you have the capability of doing more, doing better, doing anything that you truly want, what you dream of, what you can create yourself, what you can, maybe you realize that you're more creative than you thought. Maybe you realize that you have some skills, or maybe there's some inspiration that sets you on this path. So that's interesting. It's very vague, but it is saying, hey, there's something that's going to come to you and you're going to have this aha moment. The Magician, that's the aha moment. Like, oh, I didn't realize I could do that. Oh, I didn't realize that was under my power. I can do that. All right, that's shedding. What must be released? What you must leave behind? What needs to end or be surrendered for the new cycle to unfold? What must you change or leave behind? I don't know. Okay, well, 8 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles is about, you got focus, persistence, you're committed to success, you got the mastery of one's craft. Okay. So maybe what you need to leave behind is thinking that you can only do a certain thing. You're very good. You're very good at doing this thing, but it's continuous. It's continuous work, right? You could be the master carpenter, but it's continuously making more things. You can't just stop. You know, there's no residuals in that. You have to keep making things. But you are a master. So maybe like that's never a problem. People always want things from you, but you're constantly doing that one thing. Now we look at the table. We have the pentacle. The pentacle is on the table. Okay? That is one thing you have mastered. But look, there's 3 more things. There's 3 more things. Maybe what you have to leave behind is maybe this is all you focus on. Maybe you are ignoring family. Maybe you're ignoring that spouse. Maybe you're ignoring the family life. Maybe you're ignoring other interests. Maybe you're not going out, and maybe you used to love bicycle riding. And you'd go out with your spouse or your friends and you go by, and you don't do that anymore because you're doing your thing. You're doing your thing alone. But you're doing your thing. And that's your thing. And you're very proud of it. And maybe your thing is what you identify yourself as being. Like, I'm that person. Which narrows you, which puts you in this, puts you in that hole, that peg hole, and it's like, this is who I am. And it doesn't allow you to be anything else because you're identifying as this. This is me. Right? I can't be that because that's not me. I can't do this because that's not me. Maybe you're identifying as this one singular thing or this one singular kind of person. I don't go swimming in the ocean. No, I'll go in a pool. I'll never go in the ocean. No, don't even put me in a boat. Maybe you would love it, but you have limited yourself to this single-minded thing. And that was just probably the dumbest example, right? But because it's still water. But maybe there's some truth to that. Maybe you are limiting yourself because you know you're good at this, so you don't want to do something else that you might not be good at. You don't know because you haven't tried it, but maybe you're not good at it, so you don't want to. Because maybe that's the thinking. If I'm not good at it right away, then I don't want to do it. Right? I know a lot of family members who don't try things because if they're not good right away, well, then it's not for me. They might have enjoyed it, but maybe they felt like a fool doing it. And it's like, well, I just don't want to do it. Even though if they did it again, they'd be better and better and better. And then they get the whole enjoyment out of it. And it's really not about being perfect the first time. That's something else too. This perfectionism. Is this perfectionism? Maybe you need to leave that behind. There's so many things. But we're going to get more and more. So we're going to find that out. Right? So what you must face. So there's going to be a moment of choice. This is the point of decision or crossroads where you consciously step into change. The action or attitude that opens the door to transformation. Hi. So we have the Ace of Pentacles. And it came out reversed. So maybe. So the Ace of Pentacles itself is like your job or your career, a raise, an income stream. So we're going to go on that one. What if, or investment, right? So what if you've put all this energy into your job and then you lose your job? Now you have to make a choice. Do I go find the same job somewhere else? Or do I try something new? Maybe that's a catalyst, right? Maybe financially, you lose something and you have to change or you have to adapt. because it seems like maybe you weren't doing that. Maybe you were very set in your ways, and this is the way it is, and then something happens. You lose your job, or you lose something that is you've invested time in, or you've invested energy in, and then it's gone. This can even be a relationship. Maybe you've invested a lot of time and energy in a relationship, and you devoted yourself to that relationship, and now it's gone for whatever reason. So do you stay there? Do you stay stuck mourning that relationship? Or the choice is move on. Or if it's a job, do you move on? Do you try different things? Or do you look for the same thing? Something happens where it's going to force a change, because we're talking both pentacles here, right? So you've got all your pentacles and you're doing your thing and you're happy doing your thing yourself. And then one of those pentacles goes away. What are you going to do? That's what you're going to have to face. What happens when something changes in whatever you have identified with, right? I am this. And then this goes away. Now what are you? What are you? That was your identity. What are you now? So now we're going to find out what is the growth. What is the becoming? What could you be growing into? Who are you becoming as you embrace this shift? So a shift comes. What could you be? Where could you grow? Okay, we have the Six of Swords. And the swords is thought. It cuts through ideas. It cuts through the crap, right? So what this could be saying is you're going to move through this change. The growth will be that you will move on. Honestly, you move on. You don't get stuck on that shore of, but I used to be, and you stay there. I used to be the best whatever. I used to be the most sought after, photographer. I used to be. This is saying your growth will be that you move on, and maybe you move on in attitude, you move on in saying, well, maybe I need to have work as a partner instead of working alone. Maybe I need to try something different. I'll tell you a story. My father was a professional photographer. He worked for Life and National Geographic, and it was film. And when electronic photography came out, instant, he gave up on photography. For about 25 years, he wouldn't touch a camera because he was so angry that this is how he would say, any idiot can be a photographer now. It's just point and click. He was so angry that he stopped photography because something changed and he wasn't willing to change with it. Now, my father has embraced the instant photography, and he's a picture-taking fool now, and he's getting creative again, and he's building a following on Facebook and on the internet. Like, he's totally did a 180. He now loves it. He now loves the convenience of it. He loves that he can take as many as he wants. He doesn't have to, I can't take any more pictures because I don't have a film. And you young people don't know what I'm talking about. And then you have to go and find out if any of those pictures are any good. You don't know until you get it developed, right? Now it's instant gratification, and he's absolutely loving it. If he doesn't get the picture he wants, he takes 20 more, and one of them will be what he wants. probably more than that. And then he has to choose which is the best option anyway. My point is that this kind of is the story of my father, where he had a business, where he was recognized in his field. He was singularly doing it and doing it very well. And as soon as there was a change, he stopped. He wasn't willing to grow that way. Now, what he did do is go and do something else. It did come circle back, and he's totally loving it. He's retired, loves it, doing what he's doing. He's back to what his first love, which was photography. He's now doing that full time for himself, not for money at all, just for the absolute enjoyment of it. And so this might be something that is your story too, where you're doing something, you're really good in your field, and then something changes. So what do? Do you move with it, or do you move to a different shore? Do you move? The point is you move. You don't get stuck. You don't stand on the shore and holler, at the change and say, why did you come here? Why did you stop me from doing what I love doing and I'm so good at? It changes nothing. That anger changes nothing. You need to move on. This is moving on. This is your growth. This is saying I'm taking, swords, my skills, my intellect. I'm taking it to a different shore where possibly it's going to, fulfill my life in that way. Little story time there. Don't usually do that. So there's your growth. How you're going to embrace the shift is that you're going to change. You're going to do something about it. You're not going to be stagnant sitting on the shore, hollering at the world. How dare it change? That's the one constant, is change. So the last is your new reality. What happens if you embrace what is going on? The blessings that await you once you move through the transition. What does life feel like once you change, once this change is fully integrated? Look at that. Oh, come here. Come here. We have the Two of Cups. So the Two of Cups is going to talk about partnership and union. It can talk about marriage and intimacy. It's recognizing, it's choosing with your heart, is the way I like to see the Two of Cups. It's choosing with your heart. So what this is saying is that maybe you were very practical, and now maybe that has changed for you. Now you're going to choose more with your heart, more with your intuition, more with your knowing. You're going to be a little more centered in yourself, in what you choose, right? So maybe you're going to choose more fully with your heart. And like I said, if this was a partnership, maybe you were really good at it, but it really didn't fill your cup. Yeah? Maybe it wasn't something but you were good at it. So you continued, and the money was good. So when the money stopped, it was the opportunity to say, what do I really want to do? And so now you're going to choose something that actually fills your cup, that is enjoyable to go to every day, is something that is going to bring you that emotional fulfillment when you choose it. Beautiful. Maybe it's going to be, maybe this is about a person, right? Maybe you were diligent and something happened, right? So you moved on, and it's saying, well, here, you'll find love again. Or even if it wasn't a breakup, but maybe you'll find each other again. If you're still with your partner, maybe this is be a much more fulfilling relationship because now you're feeling it. Now you're not, spending all your time working. Now you're going to actually want to come home to your partner. Now you're going to actually want to have that emotion and that connection with your partner, if this is what that's talking about. Either way, you're choosing fully with your heart. Right? You're choosing something that is fulfilling you. And now we're going to ask the cards, am I on the right track? We want confirmation. So the confirmation talk about the fear. Okay. Wow, more than I thought. So scrolling instead of healing, numbness, mindless distraction. Well, yeah. So this is showing right here that there was no cups. You have a cup. You have that capacity. I'm sorry. You have that capacity, but you're not using it. So you're death scrolling, they call that, instead of healing, or instead of at least contacting your emotions, right? You're doing everything but being emotional, which ultimately looks like that's what you want. Then can't even, overwhelm, shut down, apathy, motivation not found. So this might be the problem that happened here that caused this change. Maybe you're really unmotivated in what you're doing, but you're really good at it, right? Maybe it is exhausting you because, like, you're saying to yourself, what's the point? What's the point? I'm just shut down. I'm just doing the same thing over and over. You know, I'm an automaton. I'm just constantly like being a robot doing the same thing every day. And you kind of feel that apathy. It's just like, I just don't care, right? Another card of no emotion, no cups. Constantly exhausted, fatigued, drained, hopeless. I think this is we got all the fears, right? We got all the fears showing up. Yep. Exhausted, can't even, death scrolling. Just, your life seems like it's just like getting smaller, right? Because there's no emotion in there. There's no excitement in there. It's the same thing over and over. And you're getting tired and you're getting, apathy. Yeah. So I do think we are on the right track with those for sure. Tell me something good now. What happens if you embrace the unknown? What happens if you embrace the new? What if you follow your heart? Because I do think that's where this is going. This is heading. Following your heart. Here we have, all is well. Chaos is just dance disguised as chaos. Okay. All is well. So I'm going to grab another one for that one because, okay, all is well. Physical healing. The body is a river. Let the current cleanse it. Okay, so this also is something very important. If what you're doing is physically exhausting, but you're good at it, and you're getting tired, and you can't even, down here, maybe you need to let your body have that rest, right? Maybe this growth is that you go on vacation. I didn't even think of that. Go on vacation. Give your body a rest. And it says river. Oh my gosh, look at that. The body is a river. Let the current cleanse it. Yes, you're taking that boat down the current. Yes, maybe you need to give your body a break. That's very serendipitous. You need to give yourself maybe that physical healing. And maybe get back into your body to feel emotions again, right? To find out what really makes you happy. But maybe you're just really, honestly, you're so exhausted. You really need a vacation. Love that. What else have we got? I am making such a mess. Oh, my Virgo me is just having a fit. It's not true. What is this? This is a little concerning. To rise, you must let go of fear. And it's a God, like that's a little much. Oh my. Yeah, well, letting go of fear. Absolutely. I don't know. I don't even like that one. But maybe let go of fear. Fear of change is huge. Fear of the unknown is huge. You don't necessarily need this. This is weird. Okay, you are a beacon for others to follow. So don't hide the bright light in you. See, look at that. Right? When you are fully into yourself, when you are fully into your emotions and your inner self, and you're feeling everything you haven't been feeling, I think you're going to find your people, because you are going to be a beacon of happiness and beacon of being fulfilled and being, enough for you. And once you're enough for you, people will gravitate, that's the word, towards that energy, because it's so nurturing and beautiful, and it is like a beacon of light. People find safety in somebody who is fully in their own feelings and fully empathetic, and know, that they are caring and loving people, and they're not there to hurt you, and they're not there to, criticize you. People are drawn to that energy, just like a beacon would be. So you can be so much more than this person who is alone, doing great things, but is alone. You want something so much more fulfilling, and maybe you need to share your life with someone else. Maybe you need to, authentically choose your partner in crime. Back to the gun. I'm just saying that this was a beautiful reading, and I thank you so much for being here. I thank you for sitting through my story. If you didn't click off, thank you. You imagine? Oh, I had a good time with you, Pile 3. Thank you for being here. Thank you for picking my reading today, and I hope to see you in another reading. Bye. Love you.